What's up, Flight Fan? This is Coach Dylan with the second installment of our nutrition content. So today I'm going to start off by answering a question that somebody sent in, and then I'll kind of go into my point. I think I'm going to kind of answer the question with my point. So this is from one of our Flight Fan members. So I'm trying to use this time to get a little leaner. I have some follow-up questions for the video. If I'm trying to get leaner, how should I be structuring my diet? I eat a lot of good foods that was talked about in the video, but I also have issues when it comes to portions. What percentage of which foods should be making up the calories I'm eating and snacking? I want the scale to move, but I also don't want to lose the muscle mass I have in the process. How do I maintain the muscle I do have while trying to shed some body fat? So that kind of goes back to what I talked about in the first video. So, I said that protein is probably going to be the macronutrient that we want to focus on the most, no matter what our goals are, really. So even if it's weight loss, let's get on a plan with trying to get our protein in line, and that should, especially, when we're talking about maintaining muscle mass and losing fat, protein is going to be as we talked about, the building blocks for muscle. So that's going to be the best thing that's going to be the macronutrient that we really need to maintain that muscle mass while we lose fat. So as far as losing the fat part and what portions and percentages of all those things should we be eating, I would still go back to, if we don't have our protein in line, then I wouldn't worry about that yet. You got to take any nutrition step one by one, kind of get that first thing locked down, that first habit, and then we can make a bigger change. Because the biggest problem that people have, and the reason why there are all these fad diets and why people will lose a little bit of weight and then they gain it back, is because people try to make the whole change at once, and it becomes way too restrictive, and then you just basically lose steam, lose energy to be able to maintain those habits. So the best way to do it is one habit at a time, one thing to focus on for a couple weeks. We make sure that sticks, and then we move on to the next important thing. So when I talked about protein, I said a gram per pound would be a really great place to start. And then we can kind of work off of that. And I realize for a lot of people that's going to be a little daunting in itself, especially if you're really not used to eating a lot of those foods, regularly. So what I want you to do as a first step, the real first step, is I talked about writing down everything you're eating. Now look at your meals throughout the day, and let's pick out the one that is the worst as far as protein goes. So we're only sticking to one goal at a time, and that's gram per pound of protein. So we look at our meals. You see that one meal that your day is commonly, basically has no protein in it. You eat pasta every day for lunch or something. For instance, I think that's lunch. A lot of people struggle with lunch and kind of what to have. But so say we have that every day. Now let's throw a chicken breast into that pasta. All right, and then that's already you're making the step towards getting that goal with gram per pound. And then if we're actually hitting that, if we get to a point where we're kind of slowly doing that to different meals, throwing that portion of protein in. For your snack, you're having your Greek yogurt so that you're also contributing to that protein thing, and we start to get into a rhythm, then you can start to adjust. Okay, now what do I need to do to get that to really be at a calorie deficit? And that's what's going to get us to lose weight. So it's, first focus on one thing. This is going to be the most important thing, and it's going to drive you away from some of the unhealthier foods if we're actually getting this amount of protein in. So that's going to be my main step. All right, I'm just going to review for you real quick. Write out everything you're doing. Our focus is trying to hit a gram per pound, and the way we're going to do that to start off is just take a look at all your meals. Let's pick out the one where we're really struggling, where we're not getting ourselves towards that goal. I want you to insert some form of protein that you enjoy, and now let's try to stick that for the next week, all right? And then we can talk about other ways to do it. Again, any questions you guys have, reach out to me directly or send an email back in the Flight Fan. All right, good luck, guys. Let me know. Talk to you soon.